Hey, what's going on, everybody? I think today is the day that we are going to start to play Major Minor. For real, this time. I think I started it for like 2 seconds, and I didn't really do anything. Huh, winds have changed, demo. Okay. I played it for like 2 seconds, and I was live streaming it, and I didn't get much attention for it, so I was like, I'm going to shelve this for later. And I figured, hey, we completed Amorous, so why not pick up with it now? And I figured you guys might enjoy it. Let's see, I don't really like this, okay, that only controls the volume. What about the visuals? I really want full screen, like actual full screen. That's like a big pet peeve of mine, where it's like, hey, this is as full as you're gonna get, and it's just like, you know, minimized. What if I want full fucking screen, man? Okay, I guess I'm not gonna get full fucking screen. I guess we're just gonna have to start a new game. Huh, that's kind of interesting. Why would you need keyboard and controller, like, support? Unless you could play this on your PS3 or something. Alright, I'll try to be serious about this. Where am I? Is this outer space? No, it absolutely can't be. I'd never survive in the void. I scan my surroundings. What I see should be an impossibility. A luminescent nebula gazes back at me. It twinkles, dancing across the sky. It's beautiful, but I'm not here to stargaze. As I take in this scenario, I notice some key things. My feet are not on solid ground. I appear suspended. And for some reason, I'm able to hear and breathe. Those are the two things you can't do in space. Okay, this guy sounds like a massive dweeb. I count this as a blessing and focus on breathing. There were exercises I could use to calm myself down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Before I can count any higher, though, I'm interrupted. At that moment, I realize that I'm not even here by myself. I feel a hand rest upon my shoulder, and I shiver. I expect to feel fear, but a rush of calm overtakes me. Hello, and welcome to the Ark. This is a very special place, you see. Only a select few are allowed to be here. This is home to those touched by fate, imbued with a power most call fiction. Others have come, but now it's your turn. First and foremost, I require a name. Something to enter in the annals of time. We must ensure that you aren't forgotten. My name is Tujo Okay. I guess Tujo's gonna have to do. Tujo, It has a nice ring to it. I'm sure you'll be remembered. Yeah, maybe on Twitter, you say. My name, you ask? I'm afraid that's not important. No one will remember me after this. Your presence here portends a grand fate. I think what he just said, he's just like, oh, I'm just an NPC. That's basically what he said. I'm an NPC. No one's going to remember who the crap I am. Not just for you, but the universe too. This is the purpose of those who come here. To that end, what else do they call you? Your surname is just as important. And out of curiosity, I must know. Tujo Panda, Very well. The pleasure is mine. In giving me your name, the deed is done. Your service to me and the Ark is pledged. Wait, I didn't sign any papers. I didn't do that. But do not worry. You're not a slave. Your service rewards you with power. Something that most would kill to achieve. Others must bend to the rules of the world. But for you, the opposite rings true. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. When you make a choice, reality will bend. Your every whim will fall to your lap. The universe now accommodates you. Oh man, I wish that was real. This is the power granted to you by the Ark. This is the power granted to you by me. Oh, it appears that you're fading away. Do you long to return to Earth? I understand. There is fear in the unknown. I will find you again soon. And perhaps then, we can talk a little more. Don't be scared, Tucho. I mean no harm. Would you like to save your game? Yes, sir. There we go. Whoa, I'm on a train. I am really not liking the fact that it's so blurry out back there. I feel a rush of speed as I'm shot back in my body. It's almost as if my spirit momentarily left me. Who was that man? And just what was the Ark? I scratched my head in a state of sheer confusion. It definitely wasn't a dream. I know that for sure. When you wake up from a dream, you know it wasn't real. I'm really not liking this dialogue. You laugh it off. Continue on with your life. That's not the sensation I was feeling right now. I try to ground myself in reality. I take in my surroundings, the noises, the people. I focus on my destination, Tokyo, Japan. I feel myself calm down, slowly but surely. The anxiety starts to replace itself with excitement, though many would argue what the difference is. Who didn't dream of going to Tokyo in their lifetime? It had to be on the bucket list of millions of people. And it was the first of many places I'd visit. What would surely be the best year of my life. I sit here, holding the armrest with a first grip. It wouldn't be long until I figured out how wrong I was. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Me no like ferrets. I tried my best to maintain my composure. A can of Pop Star held firmly in my grasp. I wasn't one to drink energy drinks so leisurely, but I picked up what you might call an addiction. For a little bit more context, I'll say this. Pop Star was the leading brand of energy drink. In fact, it was almost as popular as soda. It had full endorsement from a famous pop idol. Okay, one thing that I'm going to criticize real quick. Why would that, like, stock image of, like, those two dudes appear when you're still on the train and you're still sort of, like, you know, immersing yourself in the game? I don't know, it's just really weird. A contest was held to coincide with this Idols new tour. 2 special cans were then thrown into the wild. Those that found them got to travel with the tour. Almost like a golden ticket from old childhood stories. Let me guess, you're the one that got that. The contest made the drink skyrocket in popularity. It took the world by storm, a cultural phenomenon. The chance to live a life of luxury was hard to pass up. In case you didn't know, the name of the idol was Clace. I've actually met Clace in real life. He was actually a pretty solid dude, although I haven't seen his real face. He was in fursuit at the time at Anthrocon. So when I say I picked up something of an addiction, that might actually be the understatement of the year. The odds of winning were literally in the billions, so it took a fair amount of chugging in order to win. I asked myself if it was worth it, but that's subjective. At least that's what I told myself in between jitters. Being one of the lucky 2 came with its consequences. That's what the media call the prospective winners. Before I can continue thinking, I'm interrupted. Ouch, that hurt. Someone walking down the aisle has a nasty fall. They brace their descent and land on the seat beside me. That takes a special kind of skill, doesn't it? He quickly rises to his feet, wearing a look of panic. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I nod my head. It's not the end of the world. Aside from a minor frighten, everything is fine. Okay, that guy's like eyes are kind of creepy. Those are like soul-staring eyes. Those are like the kind of eyes that are like, talk about a 1,000-yard stare. This is like a 1,000,000-mile 1,000-yard stare. Although, maybe we could talk to pass the time. It was starting to get boring sitting here by myself. First time on a train. Don't know what came over me. I just got dizzy and then bam. Sounds like someone has a bad case of vertigo. I apologize again. Sorry for intruding, I really am. I try explaining myself to him that everything is fine, but he seems to think he's committed an awful crime. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Your choices will affect the way you are treated. Before he can respond, however, an alarm sounds loudly. The train comes to a screeching halt. It is not possible to please everyone. Mechanical flare? That's not good. That's not good. Oh no! What was that? Are we going to die? I can't help but snicker at that. He's clearly one of those catastrophic thinkers. Good thing I brought a conch. What the hell is the conch going to do? Now I can be in power if we're stranded. Oh, it's like that SpongeBob episode with the power of the conch. He goes to rummage through his bag. A bit of a bookworm too, isn't he? I decided to just sit back and wait it out. In situations like this, there was nothing else to do. I try and think of how I could pass the time. It might be a while until we're mobile again. I can't use my phone for anything other than texts. The data charges while abroad were a death sentence. But every day back home would already be asleep. There was quite the time difference at play here. My phone vibrates, and I go to look at it. Almost as if I knew I was thinking about it. It's Rook, the man I'm meeting at the train station. Are you almost here? I can't wait all day, you know. He's wondering where I am, and I'm not sure what to say. Should I play it cool? Or let him know we've been stalled? Not much longer now, dude. I tell him that it won't be much longer. No point in having him worry over nothing at all. This will likely resolve itself momentarily. He seems happy at my response. Good to hear. You know, I don't like standing... Okay, that's not... Since I get to look at him. What's a good voice for him? Good to hear. You know I don't like standing here for long periods of time. Much better than him having to worry I might be late. Arguably for the best, as he seems very obsessive. And quite demanding, too. Or I guess you do now. Remember it. But I guess he's a busy guy. Places to be and whatnot. I won't hold it against him. I see that squirrel is also eagerly texting away. I put my phone back in my pocket and recline my seat. I wasn't exactly sure how Rook was related to Clace, but he had to be pretty high up there. I was only given concrete details last week. I thought there'd be limos and media coverage, but I was quickly told that wasn't the case. I was getting picked up by a regular guy named Rook. I wonder if I would go full on cliche, with a large piece of cardboard that says Tucho. Oh man, I really hope we'll be okay. My train rides are usually incident-free. Usually. But he said that this was his first time. He seems to contradict himself without realizing it. Well, as fun as awkward silences are, we should probably get to know each other. Just in case we're stuck here forever. Yeah. Oh, how fun that would be. You can call me Keela. I'm here I'm here to see some friends. What about you? What brings you to Tokyo? It's nice to meet another English speaker. I only speak Japanese at the preschool level. I'm about to answer, but I stopped myself short. I have flashbacks to when I signed that NDA. I wasn't allowed to publicly reveal why I was here. At least, Not until the media made it official. But then again, what harm could it do? It'd likely never find itself back to me. Plus, Keela could be impressed with who I really am. A friend would be a great thing to have while abroad. Should I tell him? Or keep it a secret for now? Sorry, dude. I can't tell you while I'm here. I decided to stick with my morals and not break the NDA. It was probably for the best. Who wants a lawsuit? If I did let out my secret, and word got back to Rook, well, I'm sure there'd be hell to pay. Oh, you can't say? That's cool, I guess. I'm just here to visit my brother. Nothing to hide on my end, really. I thought he said he was here to meet some friends. Now he's here to meet his brother? That seems odd. This guy sounds like a compulsive liar. Nothing to hide, huh? I feel bad that I can't tell him. He clearly realizes that I'm hiding something. I'm still really excited. It's my first time in Tokyo. Gotta hit up all the maid cafes. Man, you're such a weeb. Of course. Typical tourist. What about you? Would you ever go to a maid cafe? I've heard they're just the best. Maid cafes? Those are like restaurants in Western culture. However, your waitress actually stays at your table. You converse with them, play games, get to know them. It was definitely a foreign concept to me. How do I respond to Keela? He liked my answer. Cool! We'll have to keep in touch. I've looked online at all the tourist sites. There's some great ones down in Akihabara. Before I can continue talking, the train moves again, and the passengers are shaken up by the sudden movement. Keela beams a wide smile, as if this was a major victory. Wow, I was scared for nothing. That didn't really last long at all. He sure seems like quite the character. If he did end up going to one of those maid cafes, well, there'd be no shortage of entertainment. I wonder if the same could be said of Rook. More importantly, I wonder how he'd treat me. He certainly seems like an interesting guy. For a moment, I'm glad I didn't break my NDA. I don't think I would have been able to face him if I did. I find it odd that I'm not analyzing my previous actions. As if I could have changed what I said and what I did. Perhaps it was because of that weird vision I had. I can control my own destiny, or some shit like that. What a ridiculous thing to comprehend. If I could control my own destiny, I wouldn't be here. I'd probably be off somewhere living a life of luxury. But there's no use thinking like that, so I stop. Now, oh shit. At that moment, a pain attacks my chest. More pain than I've ever felt before. It's almost as if drinking all those energy drinks wasn't so good for my heart. It pulses with my increasingly fast heartbeat. I go to clutch my gut instinctively, only to find out that I can't move. Everyone around me seems frozen in place. I start to panic. I go to focus on my breathing like before. But I can't breathe either. I sense someone behind me. And then I feel it. The hand on my shoulder again. The pain fades away, and I gasp loudly for air. Is there something about his touch? Terribly sorry for earlier. Our meeting seems to have been cut short. Perhaps you desire to return to Earth. After all, the universe bends to you now. Am I that frightening? Either way, I can sense conflict within you. You think what happened earlier was a dream. You know, your dream stands before you. I'm real. The Ark is real. And the power that you have? Well, yes, it's real too. I am not here to lecture you anymore. Your words and actions are your own, as this is the power I have given to you. However, you will be asked to help me. You are not receiving this power for free, but I will let you run free today. When I see you again tonight, I will tell you everything, and then your journey will begin. Yes, sir. I was immediately shot back to my own reality, or at least the reality I was comfortable with. But now I know one thing for sure. That it really happened. The Ark wasn't just a dream. He actually gave me some sort of power. I have no idea what to think right now. The confusion inside me intensifies. It's like millions of voices are frightening in my head, trying to make sense of everything that happened. Hey, are you coming? Keela stands before me, his luggage in tow. I notice that I'm also standing up. It appears that my body has moved on its own again, almost like something momentarily took over. Did I say something wrong? Gosh, I need to watch my mouth. I tell him that he did nothing wrong. I let him know I was just lost in my own train of thought for a second. Heh, train. He seems to giggle as if it was just a pun. I decide to take credit for it. Perhaps in an attempt to ease my inner turmoil. At least he waited for me, or I'd be clueless right now. That's the last thing I'd want to be. Alone and confused in Tokyo, bad combination. I apologize for the delay as we exit the train. Fright looms over me for the rest of the day. Whatever happens tonight would change everything. Earlier that day, in the courtrooms of Terra, a planet far from Earth, yet closer than as known to any. Oh wow, a literal courtroom. I don't really like how it's so blurry back here though. Ladies and gentlemen, without further delay, I present to you Lord Player, your current leader in the race for mayor, and with that, your future king. Worship the golden throne. I have been his humble servant for years, and through that I am certain of one thing. He will bring Terra to an age of prosperity. All hail the God Emperor, Lord Player. Worship the golden throne. Come now, Riley, you embarrass me. I'd rather speak for myself. I'm flattered, but they need to hear me. It's getting really loud. 1 second. Jesus. Got like super loud for a second. I shall speak of this prosperity on my own. This is something every Terran must hear, as subjects of the God Emperor. Under our current king, God Emperor, we are doomed. Forgive me, Lord Player. I did not mean to embarrass you. Not in front of all these people, of course. I mean you no quarrel, Riley. Have a seat. I'll call you as needed. Yes, my lord. Allow me to ask you all a simple question. Is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow? You do not need to answer me vocally. Just ponder on it as food for thought. Is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow? No, says the man in Washington. If I paint an image in your minds, you have a starving family. Your only desire is to feed them. You work harder than you ever have before, but you only have enough food to feed half. The rest of your family will simply starve. Though before you can eat, there's a knock. A violent rapping at the door of your home. You learn that it's someone new to Terra. They fled the destruction of their home. All they want now is a new life on our soil. They beg for your food, almost dying. But if you feed them, your family suffers. In this case, charity is a curse. They live, and your family may die. So, what would you do? Would you help a stranger? Even if it goes on to hurt your own family? I believe I know what your answer is. Why would I let my family die? Why would I give a stranger my food? I do not blame you if this is your answer. You worked so hard for their sustenance. Why are you expected to just give it away? Why is Terra expected to give it away? This is the portrait painted of our world. A place to be taken advantage of. Used. We can barely sustain ourselves. Yet we need to care for these immigrants. Your current king is making fatal mistakes. He gives everything away. Freely. And he calls himself the Immortal King. If he truly lived for several millennia, well, you'd think he'd have some common sense. Something Terra has been lacking as of late. Every immigrant that we accept, they're another stroke on our canvas. One that paints us as lax and lazy. The more we accept into our world, the more we condemn ourselves to accept. This is the power of that word of mouth. At this rate, we will all die. Regardless of our origin, we will starve. I want a strict immigration law. Who are you working for, Donald Trump? But even this would not help us. You don't allow a disease to run rampant. We need to cure this blight. Permanently. A vote for Player will give us severance. A disconnect from all other worlds. No longer will we be able to use us. If elected, I will devote my life to this. You don't fucking elect kings. I will devote my life to this. I will ensure Terra's independence. I will be the new God Emperor, and our base right to live fulfilling lives. Only then will we be free from immigration. And only then will our own resources be truly our own. That is all. Will there be any questions? I have a question for you, Lord Player. If you're accepting, of course. Oh, this poor femboy looks, well, they look like an immigrant themselves. An immigrant from the Soy Boys from last night's club. I need to figure out a better name for this. I have a question for you, Lord Player. If you're accepting, of course. Please speak, my child. My name is Kaylin. Please refrain from calling me child. I'm not one of your blind followers. The real problem lies with your greed. You are a noble. You have so much food. Why do you hoard and then say we're short? What? If people like you learned to share, well, we'd all be leading happy lives. You're a single man. Yet, I've seen some inside reports. You hoard enough food to feed dozens. Inside reports? Wouldn't it be more fitting to share? The supply is there, Lord Player. Your campaign is based on the lie. And why do you have so much food? You don't look that round to me. This is why Lord Valspez wants a tithe. Not everybody, just the rich. So I don't think you care about our food. Or any resources for that matter. You only care about removing foreigners. So my question is, what is the true reason you seek severance?
Tick! What gives you the right to say this? You insolent little brat! You're speaking to your future king and future god emperor, I'll have you know!
Future king? Don't make me laugh. You're avoiding the question.
What is your proof? Accusations require evidence, Kalen. Something I'm sure you don't have. I laugh at that notion that I am hoarding. Especially enough to feed dozens of people. I know the importance of giving. I would never keep while others starve.
Really? You fooled me? That story you just told everyone? It was not about sharing and giving. I asked why you seek severance. And you go and get this defensive? Your hatred speaks volumes, Lord Player. There's no need to discriminate here. Everyone deserves food and shelter. Not just those native to Terra.
I seek severance to be independent. I only want to share amongst my own. I don't want a reputation of charity. I want Terra to thrive on its own. If we keep giving things away, we only give a bad image of ourselves.
Well, even if we did achieve this severance, we'd still be full of immigrants. Not only that, but their descendants too. How does this make you feel?
Simple. We'd establish a new Terra. Once we are severed, we'd all be natives. Now get out of my face, you little street urchin. We would unite as one self-sustaining world.
Funny you should bring that up now. Rebranding our entire world? You think that'd be part of your campaign? Typical politician. Making things up. Turning all the negatives into positives. I'll give you credit, but I'm not fooled.
I ask again for proof, child.
Fine. Your servant Kabu has all of it. He provided a peculiar shipping manifest. It should be all the need we need to prove this.
What?
And the evidence substantiates his claims. Claims of hearing immigrant hate speech. A nightly pastime of yours, it seems. I'll let him handle it from here.
I can confirm all of what Kalen said. Kabu, you traitor! What have I done to deserve this? Well, one, you have been paying me shit since I started working for you. At first I thought Player was my friend. I know I'm not from Terra, but he made me feel wanted, like his son. But he started to hate immigrants so much, I realized that I was only being used. He just wanted a cheap servant. And now recently, he's been hoarding food, creating nothing but an artificial shortage. One he can conveniently blame on the immigrants. And one they can use as cover. He conveniently hides his hatred while supporting his campaign for mayor. The problem isn't those coming to Terra, it's the greed of those that live on it. Our immortal king speaks the truth. A tithe on the upper class. Yes, then everyone would be fed. Vote for Velasquez's continued reign. You know you speak lies. Why are you doing this, Kabu? Please look at this shipping manifest. I will place it here for all you to see, that you may know Player's true nature. Remember, he owns lots of land on Terra. This is but one of many instances. I'm positive he hoards at his homes. Forged! The evidence is all forged! Do not trust such infantile accusations. It was likely created by Valsquez. Riley, have a word with the people. Ensure they realize Kabu's deceit. And guards, please detain these two interlopers. We noticed that there aren't many people standing around. The initial rush must have subsided. At least Keela waited for me. How long was I out?
Well, I guess this is it, huh? I kind of pictured a grander entrance, but there's really nobody here. Oh, well, I should have expected less. That way you don't get disappointed. It's better than getting your hopes up.
That sure was an odd way of looking at things. Of course, nothing about Keela was particularly normal.
Hey, pull out your phone. We should have changed numbers, just in case. I'll be in touch about the maid cafes. I read up on some really cool ones.
He pulls out his phone and, awaits my information. I pull the phone out of my pocket and I do the same. After a few moments pass, we exchange our digits. Yeah, I bet you exchange your digits.
You got Keela's contact information. Thanks. It was really nice to meet you. I'm always glad to make a new friend.
He starts to scurry away. I hope he's a texter. I hate getting phone calls. It just seems so weird. Our generation is definitely hooked on text messages. I wonder where I'm supposed to go. Rook never gave me any detailed information. I expected he'd just be right here and then we got off. But I don't see anyone here at all, actually. I quickly turn a corner and bump into a helpless woman.
Hey, watch where you're going, will you?
I step back and immediately apologize. I tell her I was just looking for my friend Rook. I explain the fact that I'm a foreigner, and...
Foreigner? Oh, well, so am I. But I'm no concierge. You should probably tell your friend to meet into the atrium.
She points to a large, open area. I guess that's a good enough landmark. I thank her and I start to follow her in direction. But before I can get too far, a hand grips on my shoulder. Oh, no. Could it be that man again? Please, just give me some peace and quiet today, man.
Hey.
Are you so lonely that you've taken up talking to yourself? That's weird. I'm extremely relieved. For a moment, I thought it might have been that man again. But no. This must be Rook. What does he mean by talking to myself?
Whatever. I'm glad you're here. The PA speakers mentioned possible delays, and that's not something I can tolerate. We're on a strict schedule, buddy. Strict!
He starts typing away on his tablet.
Strict.
Objective.
Acting in close conformity to requirements or principles. Ever heard of that word before?
Wow. And I thought Keela was a character. Although, I guess I would be a little upset if I was boring. No one likes to stick in the mud.
So, where's the other one?
I was confused. I wasn't exactly sure what he meant. I asked him for some clarification.
The other contest winner, I mean. You were supposed to be together.
Wait.
What? Ugh. Insufferable. I hate being lied to. Drop the act. Seriously, where is he?
I tell him I have no idea what he's talking about. I didn't meet anybody on the train except for Keela. Wait, could that mean... No way. Out of the shadows, someone shuffles up towards us.
Hey, you two.
You were watching us? That's exceedingly creepy. What a group. We have ourselves a stalker. And someone who talks to themselves, too. I really don't get what he means. I was clearly getting distractions from that woman.
I wasn't watching you. I was just shy. And hold on for a second. You're the color contest winner?
He really emphasizes the word "you're." I'm unsure if I should take offense to this or not. Although, now I'm glad I didn't break the NDA. Rook would have found out for sure.
I guess I should have expected it.
Both on the same train. Both English speakers.
It adds up. Heh. Well, either way, I have to say, I'm really glad it's you. I feel like we got along on the train. Even if it was only for a few minutes. We can go to the maid cafe for sure now. We'll be spending so much time together. Isn't that cool? I'm ecstatic.
Would you like to save the game?
Yes, sir. A maid cafe, you say? I'd highly advise against that. They're just a waste of time. Plus, you two don't look the type. Maid cafes attract a certain clique. What's that supposed to mean? Whatever you two want it to mean, I guess. Huh. Thanks for making plans without me, though. It's nice to know my input is valuable. Well, what did you two have in mind? Nothing, really. I guess that's where you get off lucky. There's been something of a delay. You won't meet Clace for a day or two. So my new task is simple. Waste time. I'm supposed to take you where you want. That is, until things are back on track. Wait, then why are you mad? We get to choose where we gotta go? You know you don't have any ideas, Rook? I'm changing the subject now. If you want to go to the maid cafe, well, I know a few hot ones to attend. Most of them in Electric Town. Electric Town? You don't mean Akihabara? Yes, I do. We all spend lots of time there. It's the place to go for tourists. That and Clace loves the atmosphere. A lot of his outings are at Akihabara. Wow! We'll get along great then. But you mentioned something came up? Is everything okay? Why the delay? Oh, it's fine. Clace got into a fight. Him and his tour manager disagree a lot. But Singe always manages to quell him. Oh. Okay. I hope it's nothing too serious. It'll be fine. Trust me. Clace is a bit of a hothead. He'll be fine after venting and relaxing. Anyway, we better get moving. Won't get anywhere standing all day. It's high time we ditch this station. Now, you might be wondering why I'm saving a lot. I kind of want to revisit some of the choices I made in the past. But I'm not going to do like I did in my Amorous video, where I clogged every fucking How many save states are there? There's 50? This game is very, very, like, generous when it comes to save states. Alright. As far as the first episode, I think this is pretty good. I just wanted to mention before I cut the stream short, is that Clace, I met the dude, he seems like a pretty cool guy. One thing that I really don't understand about, like, Major Minor, I didn't like some of the dialogue options per se, up to this point, but for the most part, I would say this is about as good as Amorous. Obviously, I prefer Amorous over this, but this seems fairly enjoyable. I'm not sure why people are so hard on Clace. He seems like a pretty cool guy. Anyway, I think this is a pretty good, like, first playthrough, honestly. And I would just like to say that, you know, I'll definitely pick up with this, you know, next time. I'm going to jump off and possibly play something like, whatchamacallit, I'm going to go and play, you know, some Stalker or something. possibly one of the other furry dating games that people have been mentioning to me. So, until next time, catch you later.